5G8 and CA. Court's been asked to appoint a conservator and a guardian in this file. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Michael McFarland, attorney, guardian at Light.
William Askell, Your Honor, for the petitioner, Spring Creek Rehabilitation. And I think Mr. Underwood is present with a couple of representatives from the nursing care facility.
Jacob Scott, the social worker. Mr. Underwood refused to come down to it. We tried and tried and tried, but he was getting more and more frustrated and angry as we tried to get on it.
Well, thank you. He has the option, but not the obligation to be present today.
Okay. And then
Michelle Monk, Business Office Manager.
Okay, could you spell that for us, please?
M-O-N-K. First name Michelle. M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E.
Thank you so much. And Terry Van Zyl, if you could introduce yourself.
I'm for the hearing for Wanda Goodman for guardianship.
All right, well, that one's next. I'm going to pop you back in the waiting room. We'll be with you in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you.
We have Ms. Natasha Cates as well.
She's also on that one.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. McFarland.
Thank you, Your Honor. I made 2 attempts to reach out to Mr. Underwood, one by FaceTime, the other in person at the facility. Both times, as stated today, his attitude was, please leave me alone, maybe not such polite terms, Your Honor. I did reach out to both of the listed children in this case. I have not received a return phone call to my office, Your Honor. So I was not unable to ascertain through them if there is a medical power of attorney or a durable power of attorney, patient advocate for that. Reading the test report of treating physician and my own observations, it doesn't appear as though Mr. Underwood is able to make decisions on his own at this time or to participate. I would like to hear some testimony, though, regarding the finances for the conservatorship.
All right, Mr. Askell, do you have someone who can testify on that piece?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I also have a director of social services who can testify as to his health. If the court would like, I could call them both very briefly.
Sure.
I would start, Your Honor, I would start with Mr. Jacob Scott.
Mr. Jacob Scott, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do.
Morning, Mr. Scott. Are you the social services director at Spring Creek Rehabilitation and Nursing Center?
I am.
Have you had opportunities to interact with Mr. Underwood since his admission in August of 2024?
I have.
Would you kindly summarize his health?
Mr. Underwood, his cognition, he gets a 3 out of 15 on his cognition score, which he's only able to repeat words back to you, does not know the year, the month, day of the week, does not know what city he's in. So he's pretty, his dementia has increased, and that's why he's in the memory care unit at this time.
Does he require 24/7 assistance with his activities of daily living?
Yes.
Is he able to feed himself or take care of his own hygiene?
He's able to feed himself. His own hygiene, no.
All right. Do you know of any objection that he has for the appointment of a guardian in Ms. Natasha Cates?
He would not elaborate because it's very hard. He gets very frustrated very easily.
Okay. Have you reviewed the report of physician that was filled out by Dr. Mehta?
I have.
Is there any conclusion that he reaches with respect to his recommendation for guardianship that you question or that you want to have a conversation about?
No.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. McFarland?
One question. Are you aware of a durable power of attorney or a patient advocate, a medical power of attorney that might be in existence?
So how this all transpired was when he admitted, apparently his daughter had said his son, who was the power of attorney, had passed away that previous weekend, and there was no successor to the power of attorney. So we've never seen any paperwork, but I'm just going by what his daughter had told me.
And we requested from her a copy of that, and has she responded to you if you have?
We requested one just so I could review it, and I have not received anything.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor. That's been my, what's occurred to me also.
Mr. Scott, typically we would look for a family member to serve in the capacity of guardian or conservator first. I understand Mr. McFarland's experiences in not getting a lot of responses from Mr. Underwood's family members. Is that consistent with your experience as well?
Yes.
Has it created an impasse for you to be able to get the decisions made for Mr. Underwood that are necessary for his care?
Yes.
Any redirect, Mr. Haskell?
No, I would just add something before we close this issue, that I am looking at an email from Dawn James, his daughter, in which on August 13, she states, and I'll quote, "Due to some personal issues, I'm going to be unable to serve as guardian. Thank you for your time and effort," end quote.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well. All right, next, your next witness.
John Monk, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Monk.
Oh, and then, Your Honor,
Yes.
Natasha Cates just called the facility and said she could not get into the hearing.
Thank you. She's here.
Oh,
Yeah. Let me back in, sorry.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Monk, are you the business office manager at the facility?
Yes,
Are you aware of efforts that have been made to allow the resident to become eligible for Medicaid since his admission in August?
yes,
Is there Medicaid?
no,
Has there ever been a payment made on account?
no,
Is there a balance owing currently of $20,790?
yes,
Have you attempted to work with Dawn James to have a Medicaid application signed and submitted?
yes.
How's that gone?
I never received one.
Are you able to communicate with her when there is a need for you to communicate with her?
It's difficult. She doesn't return phone calls.
Do you know about a house owned by Mr. James?
I believe she mentioned there is a house that will go into foreclosure.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Questions, Mr. McFarland?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone else you'd like us to hear from, Mr. Haskell?
No, Your Honor.
Any further comments?
Your Honor, it now appears that there is definitely a need for conservatorship, so I would support that petition also.
Any comments, Mr. Haskell?
No comment, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well, the court's tasked with looking for clear and convincing evidence as well as notice to all interested parties before making these decisions. I do see all interested parties were given notice. All family members were given the opportunity to weigh in, object, or serve, frankly, in the capacity to assist Gary Underwood at this time, and none of them have responded nor objected to the request to appoint Ms. Natasha Cates to serve in the role. I do have clear and convincing evidence that Gary needs a guardian. It would appear at this time that he is totally without the capacity to care for himself or make those medical decisions. In further support of the petition, outside of the testimony that I've heard today, as well as the guardian ad litem support, is the report of physician or mental health professional referenced during the testimony. At an examination on August 10th, 2024, the doctor found that the resident appears to be cognitively impaired, a diagnosis of dementia. Handwriting is not the best. He's got COPD and some looks like some other physical ailments. There's another note, due to the dementia and psychotic disturbance, he is not capable of making healthcare and financial decisions on his own, a guardian may be appropriate. The prognosis for improvement is guarded, and at the time of the examination, the doctor indicates that Gary is not presently able to make informed decisions in the areas of determining where to live, consenting to supportive services, handling personal financial affairs, and authorizing or refusing medical treatment. So it is on that basis, as well as the testimony and evidence received today, that the court does find it's appropriate and necessary to grant requests to appoint the guardian. I specifically mentioned Natasha Cates, who has served in this capacity before in other cases and has been vetted by the court. I have appointed her as the guardian. I also find that clearly some of Gary's assets need to be managed, and potentially he needs to have some help applying for Medicaid to provide for his care at the specialized residential treatment center in order to meet his needs. So the appointment of a conservator is also necessary. All of our proofs support by clear and convincing evidence the need for that as well. And again, I do find Ms. Natasha Cates to be capable in that capacity. So I am appointing her as conservator in order to marshal his assets and ensure that he's able to continue the level of care that he needs. I've signed the orders and the letters of authority. Unless there's any questions, that's all for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.